thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn, hits better. Thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn, hits better. thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn hits better. Thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn hits better. thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn hits better. Thanks to an extra layer of tobacco leaf. Hits better thanks to those 2 layers of leaf being all natural. Does it get any better? To be blunt, yes it does. Al Capone wraps are also easy to roll with a self-stick strip. Oh, and did we mention? Our premium wraps come in 3 great flavors: original, cognac, and rum. If you want a great smoke, you need a great natural leaf wrap. Slow burn hits better.
Disclaimer. This video, like all videos featured on this channel, is definitely intended for mature audiences. This video is likely to contain profane language. Content is inappropriate for minors. Video is not for kids.
Welcome to the Dr. Greenthumb Show. Lord of mercy.
We're always in need of some help over here on the Dr. Greenthumb Show, live on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, X, and home site, www.BREALTV. What it do? We got a special guest in the building with us today, my man Anthony Fernandez up in here.
Yeah.
Fresh off the movie Horchata with Oatmilk.
Yeah.
And many others. We'll go through that. But it's great to have you here, my bro.
Man, love and respect. Thank you for having me.
Much love.
Yeah.
To his right, we got the legendary Mellow Manis in the house.
Thank you, sir. May something awesome happen to you today.
Yes. We got the Treehouse crew, Bolton Blombo, Bra Bra, and the Dominator.
Yo, yo.
We got another special guest, Angie Smalls, up in here.
Hey, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Good to be here.
And we also have Mr. Milligrams E-Zone in the building.
What's up, everybody at the table? Everybody watching?
Welcome to it, man, and glad to have you here.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to be here.
Man, you've been doing a lot of work. NCIS, right?
Yeah.
I said that right? Or
Oh,
was
NCIS,
that, yeah, okay. To make sure, because, sometimes this shit be written
And
backwards
they have,
for me here.
They have all of them, too.
Tested me.
NCIS, CIS,
Yes. All the S's.
MIA.
That's right. We got also it's Bruno, House Party, Bloodline, Home Team, 911, Lone Star.
Yeah.
Building up the resume, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, what got you into acting?
So about 99, basically, we'll start there. I was kind of still in the streets messing around, but I got into bouncing at nightclubs. I was over at the Boogie in Anaheim from like 99 to 2006. And then the club closed. That's where I was making my cheese, and I had like instant family I had to take care of. So I floundered for a bit, tried to figure out. I had something saved up, but I underestimated what it took to take care of a family. So fast forward, I was like, I give up. Let me go back to school, try and get a degree in something. And on the way, I discovered acting. I always loved music before that, so I had the studio with the pad and everything, but. Then I was like, after 3-4 years of studying, I was like, I think I can do this. I think I could take this to Hollywood for like one last shot to do something that I want to do.
So when you went back to school, you got into like the theater and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, whatever the class was, it was just for me like an elective, right?
Yeah.
So they make you choose something for you in addition to your gen eds.
Yeah.
And I said, that's for me. And so everything I did, I worked nights bouncing. From like, Santa Ana to LA. And in the meantime, I was studying acting, and I even repoed for like 2 years with a homie that I used to bounce with. So it was everywhere, Hollywood, LA.
Were you like auditioning for like bouncing roles too? Like, because you're like, this is kind of natural to me. Let me try to see if
Yeah, I mean, the tough guy always was. And I was like, I went through central casting. So it was like, I'm going to build it up. But I realized along the way, I didn't just want to play like the thug.
Right.
But that's what got me in the door. I still love doing it. But I grew my hair out. I started getting in better shape. I was like, I think I could give these guys a run for their money. And so I hit it full force. I was always at it. The homie I would do an audition. I'd hop into the homie's tow truck, and we'd be out repoing all night. And then
so you were like learning what the deal was before
whatever I had to do.
Yeah.
I had to pay the bills. And before 2020, it was like every audition, whether I got the role or not, I would do the work.
You were doing the homework.
Miles,
sort of like method acting?
Everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, I learned real quick you can only do so much. So sometimes they shut up and say the line, but
Right.
you just do it the most authentic and the best of your ability. But I wanted to be a character actor. I wanted to play different roles. I didn't want them to close the door on certain things, so I'd start covering up my neck, tattoos. So if they called me for something, I could try and play it.
Yeah, because they could put you into a stereo, like anybody. If you go in
Everybody.
a certain way, they could put you into a stereotype, and that's all the parts you fucking play for the rest,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people want to do the character acting,
Yeah.
which means you got to be able to be anybody.
Yes.
And that's challenging, right? That's probably the most
Especially
fun
the roles
part,
they
right?
give us too. As Chicanos, as Latinos, there's only so many roles they give you to be able to do that.
Right.
So you become very familiar real quick with what you're already familiar with, or some stereotype that you run across that they just need real quick.
You know what? It's crazy because it's changed. Before, Latinos would get like the gangbanger thing,
Yeah.
right? But now because you have so many Latinos in different places, like, you know, in the police department, they're detectives,
Yeah.
they're patrol officers, they're teachers, they're this, they're that, and the roles are expanding for Latino actors.
Absolutely.
But it's if you do the work though, like you
Yeah.
did, like do the diligence and you know, be able to become someone else and embody this particular character.
Yeah.
You know, because some people can't do that.
No.
They have one set of skills that they could play a certain type.
That's it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I think you should always be pursuing that, but then again, very few do have the chance or opportunity to pull
Right.
it off or want it. There are some people that just want to be the tough guy each time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't care if I shed the tears. I found these emotions after the streets, after the bouncing, having my family. And so, but I use them. I use them as tools.
Yeah.
As my power
What was-
in whatever it is.
What was the first significant role that you're like, all right, I'm not playing a bouncer anymore, or a tough guy, like that you're just like, because to have that skill that you just mentioned right now,
Yeah.
crying,
Yeah.
like bro, like you got to be thinking about some crazy stuff.
It takes a
Start
lot.
crying,
It
like,
takes a lot. And I kind of discovered something. I think that you just have to make sure you're really in tune with everything else you use. You have to make sure you're exhausted if you're about to do a scene where you're going to cry.
like tired.
Physically, yeah. Tired to stay up. And then you're going to be susceptible to a higher scent of, you're going to take it more personal. You're going to feel some type of way. You're going to feel more whiny, cranky.
The emotions might be there.
Emotions, yeah, it's easier to get to the emotions to just break down.
I thought it would be because your eyes get more watery. Because you know when you're really like tired and you like, let's just say if you're driving and you can't go to sleep, your eyes will just start watering.
All of that, yeah. And then you got to live in the moment. So those are the type of lessons that I gravitated towards. So like even on Home Team, it was a chance. And I was like, well, this guy's in East Texas. So I threw on a Texas accent. I said, I'm not going to do like a Spanish accent.
Right.
Like, and so I like to switch it up. And when I'm not corrected, it's reinforced that, yeah, this is believable. It's entertaining. And there are all these different type of Latinos out there.
Absolutely.
And different characters. So, you know, I started out playing the gangsters, but just a couple years ago, I was on Fatal Attraction as the detective. And, you know, and then we also got a new one coming out where I played Detective Munoz in Splash City. Burner's flick that he's coming out with. So
salute to Burner.
Yeah, but it's great to be able to play all these different type of roles, characters. And then I still love the bad guys. I like using the tattoos when I can.
Those got to be the fun roles to play.
Yeah. And you can find, I always tell the guys playing gangsters, you can find different ways of playing those roles. It doesn't always, it's what you make of it.
Right.
And so it could be Gary Oldman playing the pimp dude and, you know, whatever that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Which was amazing.
Amazing.
No one expected
No.
that. To see Gary Oldman in that, like,
Yeah.
him coming out like a white Rasta dude selling
Yeah.
drugs and pimping.
So we can reverse that,
shit
or we
was-
can use it to our advantage to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you see more of that. You know, people are willing to take a chance and discover new things. And I think as an artist of any sort, whether you're an actor, musician, comedian, like getting out of your own box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And trying some different things, because you never know what you unlock.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree 100%.
Yeah.
You know, it's about the discovery. We always say it's about the journey, but I love it at this point in time because when I was coming up, you know, we all remember how it was like in the 90s was different. It wasn't, you weren't able to express your emotions and, keep it tight.
Keep it locked in, yeah.
And so that's how I was raised. That's how I lived. And so to rearrange that and discover that, like, you make it through. And still to this day, there's been so many people that I've lost along the way from the outside, the ones that are rooting. You kind of make it out of whatever it is. And I'm like so grateful to be here. So with my life, with the characters that they've blessed me to audition for, that I got the role, on these major projects, I just wanted to do everybody justice, myself justice, full circle, to show it's okay to, like, we all go through the same things emotionally, whether it's financially with the wife or the husband or the children or the circumstances that are surrounding us, and then do one better and represent for your culture.
Yeah, that part. What do you do, like, when you're not studying for a role, like, and you're just in your own space? Because I know it's got to be hard to get out of a space when you've done a particular character for, who knows how long. It could, depending on how long the filming was, right? Yeah. Is it hard to snap out?
Yeah, it takes a toll on you. With Home Team, I was away for like 3 months in New Orleans, and it was amazing with the cast. A Happy Madison movie, and so much joy and comedy and the experience of a lifetime around you, yet a lot of moments where it's just me.
Yeah.
Walking through New Orleans, kind of taking in the sights, reflecting. And so by the time you get home, even with It's Bruno, I flew out there, but I worked as a local, so I was like Airbnb.
Yeah.
So it was me stomping through Brooklyn. It was me with a backpack, the soldier, like
getting to know the
warrior in the desert with a spear. Yeah, getting to know the culture, the people. I soaked that in for like a month and a half. And so just experiences like that, and coming back after, being so saturated with the culture, it comes back. You come back a little Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I came back a little, and so it takes a while with the family and how you acted. If you have the freedom. I had freedom. I didn't have to ask anybody or anywhere, where you going. If I get up at night in New York and want to go do something or whatever, I didn't have any. It was all me.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I don't know if any actors get asked this question, but, like, is there a role that you played that you learned something from that role, like, as a human?
I think everyone does. But the gentleman that I worked with, LV and Echo, on Horchata with Oatmilk, actually, I had worked with them previously. Echo a few times. LV, I wanted to work with him, and finally there was actually a short film, award-winning short film that came out that I was privileged enough to work on, which was Addicted to You. Now, that was the first time after, a bunch of, I've built my resume off great shows and top, #1 shows, but this one actually allowed me to go through the motions of feeling and experiencing, like I would say, a relationship at the climax of, like, this is it. After years of your bullshit, whatever it is, I'm deciding whether I'm going to leave you or not.
Right.
And the fight that goes on, and it's just contained within this one little space of time. And that allowed me really to explore the emotions of a full-on man.
Yeah.
What are the factors underneath that you had as a child? What isn't healed? What is healed? What are you aware of? What are you not? All the way through manifesting now this man who I'm aware of too.
Yeah.
The progression of that all building into this one man that's trying to justify himself, his life, being good enough, like maybe taking his relationships for granted. And so all of those layers really changed me, because it kind of strips you and you realize maybe we pursue the perfection, but you're never going to be there. So to give other people grace, to not look at relationships from such a one-sided viewpoint.
Look down on it.
Yeah, we're all human beings. Like I think we get caught up too much with this. He said, she said. Men do this, women do that. I mean, we're humans, and we do.
Yeah, nobody is perfect.
But
yeah,
I think that the same motivations, wants, needs, all of that. And so I'm blessed enough to wrap that up put it in a package, they seal it with a bow, and people's lives can actually be changed from seeing art, hearing art. Respect to you, brother, because like when I was younger, when I first heard that Cypress Hill bumping, bro, it changes you. The art changes you. What somebody shares with somebody else helps them get through. And I'm always telling them, one more day. If you're having that in your life, just get through one more day.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be here. Like all the different things throughout my life and times where I shouldn't be here, and I'm sure we all have those.
Yeah.
It's like I'm amazed. I'm so blessed to be doing what I'm doing. I love it. So I hold it with respect.
Yeah, I think that's something that, people should self-reflect on a lot, like the where you came from and the struggles you had to get to where you're at now so that you can appreciate the situation that you might be in. Even if it's not a great one, it might be better than the one you previously were in.
Yeah.
And it can always get better. You can always make it better. You can always expand your horizons and learn a new skill set or just another outlook in general.
And help everybody else.
Yeah, because it's like you said, right? You gave school a shot to go back and you found acting within that.
Mm-hmm.
And it changed the course of your direction. You didn't settle for this or that or just give up and say, fuck this, I'm done.
Never that.
And, your path could have been much different. And, I think it's those type of things when you look back and the choices you make that led you to the place that you're actually in a good place. Yeah, when you reflect like that, you can appreciate that. And it actually gives you more fuel.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, fuck, I don't want to fuck this up because I got this opportunity and it's still rolling and it's what I can make it.
Yeah, and it's your vision. Like you see your vision manifest and you see, everything that you envisioned and more, a greater version of it. And sometimes that comes with the losses. There's so much that the business, in order to make it, it does take from you. And we're not always talking about the things that we're always looking out for, the evil things out there, but no necessarily, or more of like relationships, how you have to maneuver, what you have to change in yourself, the sacrifices you have to make, and all the pieces that you leave along the way. You get battered and bruised to do what we do, but it's always for a better cause.
Yeah, the consumers of the arts, sometimes that doesn't factor in. They don't see that. They just see the art.
Yeah.
But what an artist goes through, whether it's an actor or a musician or an artist who's creating art on canvas and other mediums and whatnot, a lot of us go through struggles before we get to even one iota of success.
Absolutely.
And it's the fact that we don't give up in spite of the so many L's we might have taken before we got to any success.
Yeah.
But I think that's the shit that sort of makes that strong spirit in you when you have that shit where it's like, I'm not, took this L, get up, dust myself off, and I'm gonna keep pushing, and I'm gonna get there. And no matter how many times you might get taken off course or fall down, you just keep pushing. And eventually one day you might see the result. If it wasn't meant for you, if it's not in God's plan for you, that's a different story. Absolutely. And you have to embrace that. A lot of people don't get that part either. Like I looked at it like this, right? For a long time, I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. Mello could tell you. I mean, he knew me since I was very young and had no direction.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know I'd be doing the music shit.
Yeah.
As I was a gangbanger, I thought that's where it was going to end for me. Didn't have a vision for future shit like that, right? But we had something in common that we liked, which was hip hop music. And we felt it was ours. Like this shit was our generation shit. And we followed into it and we found a spark in that. And we took a chance on it, no matter how many times motherfuckers told us to go get a job.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna be Run DMC? You're gonna go get a job, man. You think you're gonna pay the bills, rapping here and there? Psst, come on, be realistic.
Yep.
And we, as a collective that had this one passion, looked at them like, you know what, fuck you. If you don't believe in us, that's fine, but we're going to fucking try this. And we took
Absolutely.
many L's before Mello got on, many L's before Sen and I and Muggs got on. And,
Yeah.
you know, we didn't let that sway us.
Yeah.
And you know,
You're not built for greatness if you don't have thick skin.
yes, you got to be able to take that bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Keep getting back up. Story of my life.
Because how many times did, like, when you told people you're going to be an actor, did they try to shit on that?
They want to see it first. It's funny because if I told them that I was going to be any other line, I'm not going to say nothing to disrespect anyone's line of work. But if I said anything that society would deem as a lesser, they'd accept it. They'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. You're getting your act together. You know, you're going to go do that. Okay,
Like, what
cool.
were some suggestions they told you? That's like, vaya a trabajar en el correo.
You know what? I was always in control. I was always in control of my life, even younger. So it was like I never really had a boss. I never had to. There were a couple times where I think I took a Joe job and I walked off. I was like, this isn't for me.
Same.
I would go, you know, back and forth with slanging, a little bit of then clean work. And it was just back and forth trying to figure it out. And that was in my teens, you know. 19, I had my like worst year. Kind of straightened me up, which is why I was like, you know, I'm going to go back down to Cali and bounce. I didn't know I was going to bounce, but that's what I ended up doing. And I'm pretty good at it. So I was living the life. The racks were there. It really was by accident, but like divine accident, that your life sometimes just takes those turns, because that's what I was here to do. That's my gift. I'm really settled in that fact. I'm discovering more and more about myself every day, but I'm real solid in who I am, my masculinity versus these characters that I may play that are goofy.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm still solid. And I love it because you want to inspire people that think that they can't do something else. They can't play around, use it to their benefit.
Right.
You're funny, try it out. I always recommend that, like, discover what it is you love doing and do it.
Yeah. That part. You know, don't settle.
Yeah.
A lot of people settle for the shit that they hate doing.
Yeah.
But I asked somebody this just out of, you know, like, what if you were really great at something, but you hated that shit? Like, that's a gift and a curse all in once,
There's a lot
right?
of business owners like that,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, that's different. But let's just say you were a great fucking football player, Hall of Famer, and you got paid all the money, but you fucking hated the game.
Yeah.
Sort of Barry Sanders-ish.
Yeah, it's like you're fucked because this is what you got to do to make the money because you're one of the greatest.
Oh,
at
like
it.
Carlos Vela.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
like
go.
Carlos Vela. Yeah, for
great,
sure.
great catch.
I think maybe everyone puts a timestamp on it or has a plan, but like the way finances go, the way the world works, it's like your plan is going to extend another 5-10 years. And
Yeah,
regardless, if we're talking realistically, like that's what'll happen. Like we all have goals. Oh, I'm going to get in, get out. Every drug dealer,
yeah.
I'm going to get in, get out, man. I'm going to get this million.
Getting trapped.
You got
Yeah.
a million, you're still in it.
You know, I still have fun doing what we do, so
Yeah.
I'm not one of those. But I've seen the certain homies here and there throughout life that, like, you know, I'm surprised they work because, like, when you mention work, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
like, wait a minute, my dude, you're privileged to be doing this particular thing.
Sure.
And, you know, because not many get the stamp that you can do this.
Is it permanent? Like, is it that constant energy that you were talking about? Like, when these people, because everybody, you're going to go through ups and downs. So at some point, you're going to be like, man, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, you kind of feel like that. But as long as you get over it, you're talking about consistent with that energy?
I think, you know, some people get tired of the shit.
Oh,
You
like
know,
they're just
after a
burnt.
while, maybe it's, you know, because
They're burnt on it.
the music industry will burn you out, especially if you're assigned to a fucking label.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with the politics of that, and you know, there's no out for you other than fulfilling your contract or buying your contract out. You're living this fucking either dream or nightmare.
Yeah.
And if you've done it long enough to where it's like, okay, now I got to make another album because it's on contract. Now I got to go on tour because I got to support this album, and I got to fucking sell merch because I got a fucking contract with these guys and blah, 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 or whatever, however your arrangement is. Or if you own the merch, this is the other way of making money. I got to go on tour because it ain't going to sell itself.
It's like when
And some people just get tired of that grind.
Yeah.
Well, if you do this part, like, I can't speak to acting because that's got to be a different thing. Like, y'all have way more patience than than rappers do. I mean, there's some rappers that obviously they got into TV and film. We've known that, and salute to them because they've been able to make that transition and make it work. But you got to have a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Like in the hip hop world, right? We're constantly doing shit, and there's never like a time we have to wait. It's always like, okay, in the studio, we got to create. You know, we're on tour, we got to get on that fucking stage, and so on and so forth, right? But with acting, they might call you in that day, and they might not even use you, but you're there at 6 a.m. waiting for the shot.
Hurry up and
the
wait.
shots. Hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
And that was the part to me that was like heavy. Like, fuck, I got to sit here in this.
Yeah, and
trailer.
I don't take naps. Some of those guys are real good at taking naps.
Can't
and
do
I'll
it.
be pacing around outside, like kind of like.
But you sleep though, right? You sleep good.
I sleep well, but I don't sleep much. I was always like the kind that I'd go to sleep looking forward to waking up, rather than getting the rest.
Same, I
wanna
can't.
get up and let's get it going.
If I took a nap, I'd get cranky, man. I'd get
Oh
pissed
yeah,
off.
waking up, yeah, and then gotta work.
Yeah, like I feel like I missed some of the day, and now I gotta work.
I only seen B sleep one time on a plane, dog, and I didn't believe it. I was like,
I was in half sleep mode.
yeah, I know, because
Don't
like the
never
moment
believe
he
that.
realized I was looking, it's like the robot turned on. Like he was like, what you looking at? I was like,
I got sensors, man.
Yeah,
When they put me on this planet, son, they gave me these special sensors.
yeah,
Yeah, no, but yeah, it's a different work pace,
Yep.
to say the least, and you have to be ready for that and used to it and whatnot.
is there a role that you didn't get, like the one that got away, where you're just like, fuck, I wonder why I didn't get that, but I would have liked
You
that?
know what? I put a lot out of my head now but I will. There's been a lot. There's been a lot of real like series regular or even in a film where it was like a big character, and I started getting comfortable with my performances. If you're doing the work, it'll show, and if it's different than what they want, somebody else may have something or do something. There's a million things you could think of. You could look like somebody that their ex-old lady ran off with.
Oh man,
You could, they don't like the way you read. You looked at them wrong, or I don't know. But
what's crazy is because I know you have had to have dealt with this, like when they make you read with one of the people when they're casting, right?
Yeah.
And you're reading for the part, and the person that's reading with you is just like, just reading it, not necessarily
not giving you
doing.
anything?
Yeah, they're not giving you
happens.
anything, and you gotta like pull some shit out of that.
this is the most serious moment of my life,
Yeah.
and right now, this is going to determine the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. The stakes are raised. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how
Thank you.
y'all deal with that, because that, like, I dealt with that a couple times when they asked me to come read for some shit, and I don't necessarily do any of that stuff, but I said, all right, you know what, fuck it, I'll try it.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and
It's awkward. It never gets easy. The process of auditioning, it's always awkward, bro.
yeah,
Always.
it was, and I went on another one after that, and it was the same shit, and I realized that this is the deal. You have to come ready. And I feel like that's a part of the process. Like, you got to be ready to snap in, even if they're giving you nothing.
Yep.
Right? That's pretty much
Absolutely. Hope no LG doesn't show up.
it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough game, man.
No, it is, and it is. Hurry up and wait. Do this. Oh, by the way, this is last second. But yeah, I missed out on a lot of roles. I will say I made it to the executive producer callback for this fool,
Nice.
and that was a great feeling.
Got like
can
third
see-
interview or something like.
Yeah, I believe it was the third one.
Okay, so that's like the equivalent. Yeah, you know how like some jobs.
Yeah.
That's pretty far, bro. Because it usually means like it's a big job. When you
Yeah,
have
when
an
I
interview.
when I saw the final product, I was like, I get it. I got how the whole package fit together. There were some beautiful performances, and sometimes I got a little too much of this where it should be something else that's more playful. I accept those now. And as a matter of fact, I hadn't had commercial success. I'm like, just keep working for it, but I'll still go into the commercial auditions. And then, this last year we ran for Modelo. I got the Modelo Recruiter campaign
Congratulations
for
on that,
football,
man.
Yeah. So, from what I hear, it's going to be something ongoing. So there's more in the works, so more to come. But that's interesting because I haven't had the pressure of the film and television work, but it's kind of like still balancing. I want to create, I want to make art,
Yeah.
I want to present myself in these films, and I want to put more back into the community, our filmmaking community. So with my wins, with this second year, there's going to be a lot more production coming out the back end, you know.
Yeah.
I really owe it to a lot of great talent that I've met over the years. I've actually been SAG for 11 years now. My first major thing was The Wedding Ringer, this great scene with Kevin Hart and Josh Gad, and so that propelled me.
Yeah.
And this many years, 11 years later, and everything has been, you know, Hawaii Five-0, Shameless.
So that was the first role.
Yeah, Wedding Ringer. That was my first major role.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was funny. I didn't even really get comedy then because, you know, my toughness or whatever bravado I guess I had like got me there.
Right.
But when I showed up, they had me doing more like playful. They were
Right.
like, give me a dance, like do the, you know, and you put the weed in the coconut, and it was just a great vibe on set. So I was like, okay, I don't find really what's funny about this and these lines. But then I saw the screening at Sony, and I was like, okay,
It all made sense.
Yeah. From there, I got it. I control it. It's not something that I'm insecure about. From, you know, it's still, like I said, I got a family to feed and defend, life and everything. But at the same time, we can be goofy. We can play.
Is there somewhere where you draw the line, or you just say, I'm not doing that, bro?
I pushed it. I pushed that line pretty far, but nothing crazy. I have my lines.
Dress?
No, I haven't yet. I don't think I'd do that. It would, you know, from what I understand, it really has to make sense to whatever it is you're doing, and
Yeah.
we all see it. So now it's kind of like
It can't be some frivolous shit.
Yeah,
It's got to have some sort of meaning.
Yeah, anything has to. And then also, though, I say that we're telling other people's stories, so you have to decide how much your grit and determination is to tell somebody else's story. I'm not a crackhead. I'm not a prostitute. I'm not any one of these things. Some of these people have really tough lives. So if you break off something like the Dallas Buyers Club, you better make sure that you can bring it. But that's what I wanted to prove. I'm not expecting everybody to hop on the stretcher. I'm just saying, like with some roles, like I've noticed with the mainstream or more Caucasian roles that they give them awards for the same thing that, like in the culture, you're going to get rousted.
Right.
But if it's somebody's story, you got to tell it, and you take it on, and you say you can deliver. You owe it to them to do everything in your power to do it with respect, whether somebody agrees or not. Isn't the point. It's like, this is what we do. But physically there, you know.
Yeah, it's the ability to tell the story.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like you have that thing that connects with that person that maybe the movie's about.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's, I mean, is it easier to connect with that than a fictitious person or than to tell a real story?
Man, that's a good question, because a lot of times it's like you bring so much of yourself to it. So
to a made-up character, right?
To a made-up character, and you have to infuse that under the certain, like whoever they really are that you don't have. So the closer that you can hit those parts and be open and honest about the dark and light parts of yourself, you have to draw from them and be able to show them. And they're like, wow, where did you, pull that from?
Yeah.
It's like, because I'm a dark motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
they don't know about those sides.
Yeah. But when you, it's like I noticed when people would be delivering monologues, there'd be an electric thing bouncing around where they'd switch from side to side, uncomfortable. And I finally channeled that. I figured that's what you do. You channel it, and it's like the energy going out. So it's your power, regardless of what emotion and vulnerability you're giving. That's still your power. So I actually feed off of that. Like, you'll still come out adrenaline pumping. You just performed. You just came off of whatever your stage is.
Yeah.
And that feeling of like, I did it. You need that adrenaline rush. You need to kick it for it to kick you forward. And then you become comfortable. When we did Horchata with Oatmilk, man, I came in more seasoned. I came in with guys that I already saw had great talent: Concrete, Duno, Jay Valentino, Jerry Garcia, and even Alexander Gibson. Man, he just did like 11 years and had just gotten out. and it was after the lull of 2020. But coming in as more of a seasoned actor, it was great to understand how camera acting is and the angles, lighting, setup. Working with Jeff Echo Reyes and being directed again from Christian Melvi Leyva. It was the gang was back together, you know, and the phenomenal producers that had a vision for like the Latino Friday. It was you know, John Doe at the Watch, so the plug, and they created something great. We were coming off of 2020, I believe we started. You know, it was years in the making, but I loved that because it shows just how long your road has been is how much you pour into other people. So it's like so many others that I'm like, oh, this would be a funny line right here. Or, you know, maybe your input is accepted and welcomed and validated. And so that was a great flick to work on. I suggest that everyone sees it. Horchata with Oatmilk.com. That's where they can stream it. But that's the hood comedy, bro. That's what we're pushing right now as far as the film and television. I'm getting set to do more Modelo stuff, but you know, I was cruising in Hollywood like about 6 months ago, a year, and you know, I just got the new whip. I was like, if they took it away today, I came to do what I said I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And you know, so I'm just blessed every single day. I love everybody. No animosity, love, respect to everyone, and it's just been amazing.
That's the way to be, man.
Yeah.
Did you want to ask anything, Edge?
Ask anything? I mean, I'm here to just support the movie, and you know, I've known Anthony and his acting, but this comedy is dope. It's so funny. But yeah, no, I'm just here. I'm just happy to be at the table with you guys. I'm not.
And we had the premiere April 1st. It was April Fool's Day. They did a great job of promoting it up until right when it dropped. It was at the El Portal Theater in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the little kid in me, the one that likes to get that popcorn and watch it like literally beginning to end, I took myself out of it, ego. I really don't like that. You know, you need a little bit of this and that, but when I watch something, it's not about like my scene. And when you see it come together and we're all representing in the scenes and it looks right, feels right, we even knew when we were making it that it would be a classic. And so the performances are just amazing, and myself as a fan was laughing from beginning to end, man. So
when you went to your first screening of something that you were in,
yeah,
was it hard to watch yourself, or were you comfortable with it? Because I know a lot of folks have that issue where they'll do the movie and then they don't go to the fucking screening.
I know, I want to see it. I just don't want to see it right away. Like everyone, hey, check out this. You want to see this? Like, and I tried to do that with Horchata. I was like, I don't want to see any scenes. But with like, you know, I would say The Wedding Ringer. I did, some indie stuff, and you always want it for your reel when you're coming up, not a union. So I'd always want to see everything when it was like that because I would need it or, see how it turned out. And then I did one film called La Guapa, Thou Shalt Not Kill, from director Kenneth Castillo. And that was prior to The Wedding Ringer. But, still it was indie. I was trying to get the union. And then that year when I got Wedding Ringer, it blew up. And I went to that. They invited me. They were real great. They invited me to the red carpet. And, that type of stuff is like I've made it. You still don't realize how long you got to go.
Right.
It's like, hey, I'm on the carpet. Josh Gad kind of like does that, passing by, grabbing the hand. And you like it. They invited me to the after party. And
that's when you know things are moving up.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Yeah. The work that you're putting in is all hitting.
Yeah. It's a good feeling.
It's a great feeling, man. Hell
and
yeah.
then to keep that longevity going, to be blessed with something year after year to keep you going, to where it's like at first you start out, you're like, kind of, some of my actor, gonna do some acting a little, something. But by a certain time, it's like, I'm an actor.
Yeah.
You say it with pride, with confidence.
Now you could say it. I mean, your resume speaks for itself.
Yeah. You get comfortable in your own skin finally.
Yeah. And I think that's necessary as long as it doesn't, go over your head. Or it doesn't make you feel like you're more than what you are. I still believe in opening doors for people. I believe in being kind to people. And so the thing about it is not to think that like you deserve anything, or, to always be grateful for what it is that you got. So that's why it's like to be comfortable. I always say it's this pull, even like an audition or something. It's like you're telling yourself, okay, I know you're only in competition with just yourself, but I'm better than everybody else in the room. But I'm no better than anybody else in the room. and then you go in and do your thing. You got to drop it, leave it alone. Then you have to go back to normal life, your family, even though in the back of your head you're thinking of that. And so the more success, the more that you, I guess you're kind of, you verified in what you do in your craft, and then you can start to leave it alone more. You can start to just be it. It is a part of you and what you do, but, all I know is there are some people that it overtakes success and can't walk it out, and then there's people that can. I just want to be one of those ones that is always aware that the rug can be pulled out. Success can go away. They have a saying where it's like, be kind to everyone in the business, especially because the same ones that you see on the way up, you'll see on the way down.
Yeah, and you can't get complacent.
Absolutely.
Because when you get complacent, it's pretty much fucking over.
Yeah.
You got to keep pushing. You got to let that passion continue to drive you. You could take times off to reset. People, there's a misconception in that, like, I got to keep going. And you need that reset every now and then reconnect, and then get back out there and do what you do.
Yeah.
Because the minute you feel like you got it figured out and you could be comfortable, someone's sliding into that fucking spot.
Yep.
That's pushing harder than you, and you got to just keep
younger, fresher, more vibrant with all
that shit. Do you have aspirations to direct and produce?
I do.
Get behind the other side of the camera?
Yeah, my thing was this. I would, when I was starting out doing background work and everything, you'd hear a lot of what people's lives were outside of that. And I was always the same one that was like, I'm an artist. This is like, aside from my family, I eat, sleep, and breathe this. I'm always thinking about acting, thinking about emotions and psychology. And some people will have other things that they do. And so in that type of thing, you learn just a lot about what you fill your time with, and what you do outside of that. You have to have balance between everything that you do, because if I had my choice, I'd go at it 24/7 and miss those moments that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But you just try and make time and balance. It's not a fair thing. It's, can you go to the next level? I always look at it like it's like the minors and majors. Some guys are real comfortable in the minor leagues. They get playing time wherever their local is. The fans love them. But it's like, I always wanted to be in the majors. And that may mean that your playing time gets cut down. It may not. It may mean that you're, not this or that. But it's like you have access to prove that in that professional realm, you can hang with those people.
Yeah.
And so every time that I've done it, and I said, don't show up into a room and say you can do something and don't do it.
Yeah.
It's simple. People will embrace you. They'll respect you. But you have to make sure that you can deliver.
Yeah, don't oversell.
No.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's why I don't push it as hard. It's like the resume is there, and I just respect the G's that came before me. Honestly, that's where it comes from. It's like some guys don't make it because it's a different grit. It's a different year. It's a different experience.
If you love the job, right, and I can ask this of Mello as well, and E-Zone as well, because you do comedy and you've done music and stuff like that. If you love what you do, can you get addicted to the work, in your opinion? Mm-hmm. I feel like you can, because sometimes I'm addicted to the work. I don't want to take time off and shit.
Yeah, you can get addicted to the work real quick. Like, and it's not even about the money. It's just like, I think sometimes it's engraved to you, because if you come from immigrant parents, you never saw your parents take a break. So that mentality is instilled with you. And I see that shit a lot. So I have to constantly remind myself to take breaks. And even then I ignore that shit and just constantly keep looking for shit to do for work. Mm-hmm. So I feel I'm addicted to the work, where I have to do certain things to forcefully separate my work life from my actual personal life, and be like, oh shit, I actually do enjoy hearing the birds sing. Yeah. Fucking, this is what I really think, and I create some new ideas. Because I don't know, for me, I know that I knew when you have to have a certain balance when you start dedicating too much time to certain things. Like me running my brand, High and Hungry. If I don't have the time to create, on the next designs or next certain things, then I don't have a good balance, because I'm spending most of the time working on it. And it's like I feel like the creative juices have to keep coming, bro. Otherwise, it just becomes labor. It's not longer a labor of love.
And sometimes it's like you just like I just let me finish this. I know that I'm neglecting this. I kind of know that it's here, it's on my back, but just let me do this because I got to get it done. And it can always be. I kind of feel like that's life, and
Just
it
one
is
more,
a balance.
just one more.
Yeah, just one more.
Yeah.
Just one more.
Yeah.
And it is. I think it's a balance, and I always say too much of anything.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's good. They can say this is the best thing and this is the worst thing. Well, in life, you're going to need a good balance of everything in between.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really is those moments to make sure that you stop yourself too.
Yeah.
And hopefully you got a good support system around you.
Somebody that'll tell you when they see you're
yes.
going too hard, hey,
yeah.
slow down a
Guess
little bit.
what? Yep.
How about you, Mello? What do you think?
B, it's just been like, I got to a point where early on, when one of your first records fades to black and you got to come back again, right? I realized then that it was a matter of just understanding who I became and understanding that, it's okay to bust a move a left and be okay knowing that you became a legendary pioneering type of person, right? Mm-hmm. And so now it's just like another day at the office. I will be at the office when I be at the office. And if I'm not there today, that's all right. And I think it's just being comfortable in your own skin again and knowing that when you do get back to it, you're still there. You didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
But I think it's also good to recharge the batteries and come back, find some new ideas like E-Zone said, and then hit them again.
Regroup.
But I think, regroup, regather, and then just don't feel bad about the times that you spend away out of the office, because you need those too.
And the machine's going to keep running when we're gone.
Absolutely. How about you, Ange?
Well, I interview a lot of up-and-coming artists, young artists, and I always reference your song, Rockstar, and I feel like it tells such a great story about what musicians go through in the industry and how you really can't act like if one of the lyrics you have is like, if you're just on the streets, you could act, you could retaliate, but when you're in the music industry, you got to be a certain type of way, you got to deal with certain politics, and you can't just, so you have to move differently in the music industry.
The shit we see everybody doing wrong these days, right?
I love that song, Rockstar. I reference it all the time.
Thank you.
To artists.
Yeah. For me, I love the work. I find times away from it, not vacation times, but times away from it to where I appreciate when it comes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's never a burn to me. I love creating and then getting out there and impacting the people with that creation. So, but as we said before, so you don't drive yourself fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Find resets here and there. But
You said something very impactful that I left with, and I still remember to this day, a week and a half ago when I was here. You said, I don't dream. And I went away and I went home thinking about who doesn't dream? I said, a man who's living a dream.
Oh.
Damn, that's deep.
yeah.
And I was like, whoa. Because I talked to my 91-year-old dad. I say, how'd you sleep, Dad? Oh, I was dreaming I was back in Cuba and I was da-da-da. And even though that's a dream, too, that he made a reality, but I found it really profound when you said, I don't dream.
You don't dream, B? Because I don't. I said that before.
Don't ruin it for me now, nigga.
90%, probably 95% of the time, no, I don't
amen.
have a dream. But when I have dreams, they're significant. They're telling me something.
Yeah.
It's not just a dream. So I don't really, have them.
So,
I would agree with
a
that.
month.
Yeah.
You're having like what? Like because I mean, we used to, the human, like the brain has millions of dreams going on, but we just don't remember all of them. But the fact that you're not able to remember nothing, because I'm one of those people that like, when I knock out, I could be like, it's not until I open my eyes and my brain, I feel like it's back on because I don't remember shit.
I could remember dreams that I had as a kid that were like
I remember those.
fucked
Profound.
up.
Not to
Yeah.
take away what you said, though, man.
No.
That was heavy. I walked away with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that means, I was dissecting it from the left to from the right. I was like, that means my little brother did his life so right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like where he's already knowing that what's about to happen is going to be bliss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I took my hat off that day. I was like, man, to that nigga, you know what I mean?
It's what we can make it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's whatever we can make. if we get the opportunity to do so, and we have that push through.
It isn't that the cycle? I think that it is. It's like you have those moments where you have to slow down so that maybe you can reflect a little bit more.
Yeah.
And when you have those, then it's going to pump you up and drive you back into the season where you're built back up and strong to go hit it again.
Also, your mind could be working, like you could be going to sleep.
Yeah.
And your mind could still be running 1,000 miles an hour
Yeah.
while you're sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
If you don't know how to you could physically shut it off and be like, I'm sitting down, I got my feet up, I'm relaxing, but secretly you're still thinking about work, bro. Like that's a whole nother
It's still,
thing.
it's like the computer's still running.
You have to learn how to separate, and that goes with environment, certain practices you want to go ahead and do, maybe, whatever you want to dabble in that allows you to like maybe disconnect yourself from the attachment that is work, or you're making it seem like work for you,
Yeah, because some people are like, oh, I got like 10 hours sleep and I woke up feeling worse than before. Like, and I didn't, their mind was going so much.
Their mind was going, yeah.
Like, have you been dreaming, or
I get that every now and then where it's like I'm asleep, but my mind is fucking racing.
Yeah.
You could pick up where you left off, dude. There's sometimes.
Yes, I've done that.
Yeah,
Oh.
for certain things where I don't know. Sometimes it's more stupid now where I'm like, if I go to sleep, bro, and I have a song in my head, bro. Like when I hit you up about that song, bro, I had it, and then I was like, I had just seen that movie, and I went to sleep, and then when I woke up, it was like 3:47, bro. I woke up to pee, and then I was like, the song was still playing in my head, bro, and I was like, why is this shit still running? I was like, my brain is so, like, there's thoughts going on, and then sometimes you'll be thinking about certain things, and then you wake up at like 5:10, trying to go to the gym. Bam, like you're like, yo, bro, this is a new day. Can we stop?
I figured out how to get out of that though. Because you're caught in whatever that thought is for so long that it's now looped. It's like when you hear a song and it's not your favorite song, and then it's just fucking playing in your head, and you're feeding yourself this fucking shit. You know what I mean? You have to do a meditation out of it.
Yeah.
You have to. The breathing exercise, breathing in and breathing out, concentrating on the breath, talking to yourself about the breath going in and coming out. And eventually that thought will fade, and you might go somewhere else. And when you catch yourself going somewhere else, you have to recognize that and then get back on the breathing pattern, right? And if you do that long enough, 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, you will get that song out of your head. You will get out of the loop, and you could do it before you go to sleep, because that's how it usually works. You'll fucking put yourself to sleep in that meditation, and that whatever that thing is gone.
Yeah.
Because we get stuck in a loop. I've done it. Shit, it happens to me on tour more than anything. Like, so, for instance, we went to go do the London Symphony Orchestra thing, right? The night before, I didn't get that much sleep because all night, all fucking night, I was concentrating on lyrics to Cuban Necktie, right? It's one of our harder songs to do live. Especially because my man's brother don't know it, so he don't back me up on it. Thank you. It was stuck in my head because I've been going through it the whole fucking day, to make sure I don't fuck it up, and I fucked it up. Anyway, I fucked it up, but it was in my head so long that when I went to sleep, I didn't, my eyes closed, and I might have been in a sleep state, but my mind was racing, thinking about those fucking vocals, and it's repeating to myself the whole fucking night. And I felt like I didn't get a good sleep because of that, because I woke up with the song in my head, and I was on loop. Had I recognized that I should have meditated before I went to sleep, that probably would have gotten out of that, and I would have felt like I had a good sleep. But man, that shit was just looped. And so the next
that's happened.
Yeah, I would imagine when you have to fucking memorize lines, that happens, right?
You overdo it.
Yeah,
it could be one line, and if you overdo it enough and then go in the wrong way, you could just kill it.
And then you're thinking of that fucking line all next day, huh?
Line.
Yeah. Oh man, that shit had me like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. These are the little psychological things we do.
Yeah, live performance though too.
Yeah,
'cause it's like in the moment, you're there. It's not a second take, so I give respect to that because it's a whole different beast, like being on stage performing as opposed to behind, the camera where you got takes. And but either way, when it's time to perform, it's like these people are dropping money and whatever, your platform is, you're stepping up and filling that time, getting paid.
Yeah.
I got to get this.
Got to get it.
Sometimes you get it, but
you got to have that push through.
Yeah.
That follow through. That's everything.
Yeah.
You know who didn't have follow through last night? Fucking Boston Celtics. Sorry, Boston Celtics.
Somehow I knew you were gonna drag that.
Oh my God. The Knicks put it on him twice. Same way. They were down 20, came all the way back, won by 1 point, and it was sort of similar the way that it happened the whole fucking game, man. The Knicks, they're 2 games away from sweeping the Celtics, and they're going home.
Wow.
My God.
That's wild.
Yeah, no follow through for the world championship.
I would almost prefer a blowout.
Yeah, me too.
Than, you know what I mean? Just let me know I lost.
Yeah.
I'll still try until the end, till the buzzer, but.
And that was the thing. Both games ended just the same way. Like, it was a very tight score. It was like by 1 point, 1 to 2 points. This one was by 1. And, I mean, everybody had the Knicks written off. Like, they thought that the Celtics were going to just sweep them. But no, Boston.
I know some people got paid on that one.
People got paid.
Vegas.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, Vegas.
Vegas always gets paid.
Let us get a piece. Let us get a little piece over here.
If you had bet on the Knicks for those 2 games, shit, you don't got to bet on no other games.
No.
You know what I mean? Because
you're smart.
You made a lot of money. Yes.
I say hit it once and walk away. Walk away.
So, yes.
Walk away, please.
Because someone said, and I doubt this is going to happen, but you never know because it is the Celtics, and I fucking hate the Celtics. They could, potentially win 4 games in a row against the Knicks because the Knicks have this thing in the playoffs where things are going good, and then all of a sudden it's sort of like the Clippers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They just kind of give it up to them.
Flips. Something happens and it flips. But God willing, nothing happens and the Knicks go on to smash those Celtics.
Yeah.
You know
I mean, that's old school from the old school rivalry.
And Indiana gave it to Cleveland again. I think they're going to get their 3rd game on Cleveland tonight or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's just my little basketball deal because that meant a lot to me that the Celtics went down.
It's always kind of nice to watch the enemy fall.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound so harsh, but that's what it's come to.
Yeah. Hey, listen, no love lost for the Boston Celtics.
Sorry.
I love Boston.
Yeah.
I love Massachusetts.
Absolutely.
The people there are cool, the fans.
Yes.
But, yeah, no. Boston.
And somebody's got to win. I'm sorry. It's just, you know.
I mean, our Lakers got taken out early, so what can we do? But, we always root against the fucking Celtics, that's for sure.
Got it.
Fact.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
It's a natural born fact.
Yes. And did you know it is the birthday of Robert Johnson, legendary blues artist, born in 1911 on this day. He was at the crossroads.
Yeah. Wow.
That's what was
I got
said.
a few songs in my playlist with him. Yeah.
Have you been seeing this trend that it says proves the existence of time travelers? How they link certain celebrities to create crazy pictures of people that existed back in the day, and you're just like,
oh, they look like them, right?
Yeah, they have a Keanu Reeves, and then they have Nicolas Cage. Yeah, and you see all of it, and these are actual pictures of historic people, and it's like, damn,
Doppelgang.
Nah, dude, they're saying it's time travel.
No.
They look like them, but
I don't know, B. I don't think the concept of time travel is too far fetched.
Well, let me tell you what. I came from a different time, the 1900s.
Better place in time. I'm a 96 cat.
I feel like I've been here before, oftentimes.
Oh, look at Matt.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like it's AI, though. Come on.
Those are real pictures, though.
How do you know those are real pictures?
Because in the actual...
Show us the other pictures.
They tell you who some of these people are.
This was posted over 3 years ago, or just 3 years ago, I guess.
There's more.
Dude does look like
He does look like him, yeah.
But that is not Matthew
There's John
McConaughey.
Travolta.
Let's see.
Keep going, Bolton.
Oh, that's all you got, Bolton?
Oh, come on.
Here,
That was
hold
number
on.
14, Bolton. There's like 13 more.
I saw a Jay-Z one that was just so identical.
Greta
It was crazy.
Thunberg, they're saying she looks right there.
She's traveling in time.
So did they travel backwards or forwards?
They should just travel
Has to be forward.
to like, I guess, to keep going.
Oh, shit. Keanu's back from the 1500s. All right, let's go.
That doesn't look like him.
Yeah,
it could
that
be
does not-
anyone.
yeah,
they
that-
did him dirty.
Yeah, they did him dirty. on this. Oh, shit.
Wow.
No. It is not Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I got it.
Fuck out of here.
That one does.
That's pretty
Nicolas
close.
Cage does.
That's
He
pretty
shows
close.
up everywhere though, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. 1800s.
Remember, this looks like a younger picture of that person.
Yeah.
Nick,
I'm just-
Nick is a little
Well,
older.
they
there,
say
but
there's
my
only
goodness, that
so
does
many
look-
combinations. Sorry, Mello. I didn't mean to cut you off. There's
Yeah.
only so many combinations within the.
Yeah.
It is a trip that they're not
DNA.
related.
You're bound to have like 7.
Like you can't find the similarities between the bloodline.
Could be, yeah, could be they're related.
I
yeah,
mean,
this is
he
more
kinda- he
likely
kinda-
they're related.
There is a Jay-Z one too. I've seen that. Like where like it's just
I mean,
like
it's not so far fetched to think that after so many human beings have been born and passed away, that I mean, the good man upstairs runs out of faces. You know what I mean?
He's like, we got to reuse some body parts.
You know what I mean? Like,
Opens up the drawer. Let me
yeah, it's
see.
like I'm running out of faces here.
Yeah.
Say, here, let me put this motherfucker together with this motherfucker over here and a dash of this motherfucker too.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes he's in a rush.
he's got to use ChatGPT, dude.
Yeah. Wow. And did you know it is the birthday of Philip Bailey? Oh, wow. That Eddie Murphy one was a fucking bug out, right?
Yeah, that was.
Birthday of Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind, and Fire, Mr. Legendary right here.
God's
Had
favorite
many a
band,
good
no
night.
doubt.
To Earth,
Love
Wind,
that
and Fire.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's
Section stupendous, just crazy.
he's still out there doing it. And he's singing everybody's parts.
That's everybody's part.
Yeah, I saw him
Yeah, because Maurice
perform
passed on.
at Johnny J's funeral.
Oh,
Earth, Wind, and Fire performed.
wow.
Hate to
Yeah.
random fact, but
Yep.
you know,
Salute to Philip
I
Bailey.
saw them.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome that they showed up.
Salute to Philip Bailey, born on this day in 1951. And did you know it is the birthday of legendary hip-hop mogul Chris Lighty, rest in peace, born on this day in 1968.
R.I.P.
Yeah, he was a good dude, man. Did you know in 1975, an artist by the name of Enrique Iglesias was born?
Ooh,
Happy birthday, Enrique.
legend.
Yeah.
That was not Enrique.
As the Puerto Ricans say,
Moby.
Anglique.
That's Enrique.
Enrique.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his dad.
They should have just pulled his fucking last name off.
And now for your listening pleasure, Enrique.
There you go. See, right? Doesn't that work? He doesn't even need the last name.
Well done.
But he leaned on it.
You sounded like the cat from Shrek.
Antonio.
Yeah.
Antonio. I am Antonio.
Did you know in 1977, Joe Bonamassa was born?
Play that guitar.
I feel like I said his name like Bolton. Jesus, my bad. Did you know in 1984, Roger Waters released his solo album, The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking? Seems like a long title from Mr. Roger Waters.
Seems like a pretty simple thing to just get to.
Yeah.
Get right to it. Put the thumb out. And
Yeah.
you're doing it.
The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. All right.
There are some pros.
You know who had
There
a
are-
dope song Hitchhiking was fucking Marvin Gaye.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No.
He got into
Oh.
some adventures.
Yeah, he got into adventures for sure. And did you know it is the birthday of Tekashi 6ix9ine, which
Oh,
y'all probably don't give two shits about. Born on this day in 1996.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, exactly.
You You know,
He's on the
old
run.
boo-boo that looks like.
Did he get arrested again? Did they put him back in? He violated,
I
huh?
feel like he is somewhere getting arrested.
I think my
right
man
now.
violated.
He's always
You know,
getting arrested.
If he just quit fucking around with the antics and got down to it,
For real.
my man can actually rap pretty good. You know what I mean?
I do have a confession that I love that song Mala. He has some catchy stuff.
He's got some
No,
songs.
that's the sad thing.
He
It's
just
like
got to stop the troll bullshit.
wasted talent.
Yeah, there you go. That
We
was
don't
it.
like wasted talent.
Yeah,
That's the worst thing.
he does need to settle down.
And you get a reset on that level.
He played the game, and it was very risky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now he can't feel safe anywhere. It's crazy. Well, that's
Not
what
even
happens.
at the gym.
Did you know in 2001, Carmen, the hip opera, was released? There you go.
I remember that.
And if you're a blunt smoker, check out the Natural Leaf Raps by Al Capone. Pedro rolled one up. I don't know where it's at.
Right here.
You blaze it. It's super easy to roll with their self-adhesive stick strip. They burn slow, taste pretty goddamn good. Check out the link in the bio to get yourself an Al Capone premium leaf wrap. They hit better, right? Ethan?
Yeah, I'm about to light it up right now.
Light
Thanks,
it up.
Be real for giving me your blunt.
I'm giving you that blunt. It's a gift, hijo.
Can you
know
give
what
me your
I'm
lighter too?
saying? I need a lighter myself. Indulge in the quality with Al Capone leaf wraps because real is better than perfect. There you go. We're about to open up the doors to the insane asylum. That means, y'all, if you got a comment, question, shout out, suggestion, we are here for it. Salute to everybody who's sent in a super chat thus far. Much love to all y'all. And now let's open it up.
Welcome to the insane asylum.
Yeah, everyone's just loving the conversation so far. We just got a few super chats here. We got one happy mama saying, any crazy fight stories you can talk about while bouncing, when you were bouncing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, time for the headphones. That's right.
One of our fans in here is asking, any crazy fight stories you can talk about when you were a bouncer?
Yeah, so it was the Boogie in Anaheim, and they had different nights. A lot of times there would be just regular dances and promotion club nights, but every now and then they'd have somebody perform. And that particular night, it was Brenton Wood. So it was a real big deal. We were real tight on security, making sure, he was safe. And he started the show. It was real rowdy, a lot of cholos.
Because a bunch of knuckleheads come out for him.
That's like a old
Rest in peace.
I mean, rock.
Yeah.
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 Rockabilly, cholo, you name it. Everyone came out, and you just felt like something was gonna
It
happen.
was a Raiders game.
Oh man, and it was packed. So
Yeah, he had all love music. It
All
was
love
all
music.
fucking
that's
like
that's the
oldie-
funny thing.
Yeah.
It's always the tough guys got the heart and like, I need to hear the emotion.
And then they get in fights while they're fucking listening to the love music. That's
Isn't it? But isn't that crazy? I always found that the trip, man. Like fools like Art LeBeau that had that following with a lot of the cholos.
Yeah.
And I think especially if you're like from the hardcore cholo generation, how you were raised to be very like, hey, there ain't no feelings around here. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're all human. We have feelings. I feel like that was the only channel cholo fools had to like be like, you know what? This is the only way I can express my form of love.
the call-ins.
Yes, so
Especially the
hard
the
song.
most hardcore.
I want to tell Gina I love her and forgive me for.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah, all
waiting
that
by the
shit.
phone.
This goes out.
That's like with the tie-ins too, though. The tough guys. Those guys, they're out doing hardcore gangster stuff, but they got to hear that.
KRLA was the shit
Yeah.
back then when they played all that, and you would hear, gangsters from different places, getting in their feelings and shit on KRLA.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
You're right about what you said though. Like you said, all the tough dudes and all that shit. It's like they have something that makes them that'll just make them soft, bro. Like no matter you think somebody's an asshole and it'd be like, what could get this person in the feels?
Well,
Play that again, Holmes. Play that again.
The thing is that everybody's human.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Yep.
But people just don't know how to channel that, so they find certain things. Like
Yeah.
you got like a weak spot, like me. Fucking animals, dog.
It's not weak
Yeah.
spot, dog. It's humanity.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that night, humanity started scrapping
Yeah, humanity. There was no
to the
humanity.
Brenton Wood concert, and I jump up on stage. I kind of, I grab him and we're pushing him off out the back to keep him safe. And this female starts swinging at me. She scratches me, pulls off all my chains. The whole club broke out into a brawl.
The heart bubbles turn black.
Yeah, the doors fly open, and it was just one of the craziest scraps because in my mind it almost looked like a movie set because for some reason there was smoke everywhere. It spilled outside. Fools were like grabbing bikes. I think they had like security bikes that they were like throwing at people. And
I mean, it was one of those fights.
Oh yeah, it was broken bottle time. It was like we got down like that, man. We got down like that. I was at that particular spot from '99 to 2006.
That is movie shit right there.
Yeah, I wrote my little script of the years that I worked there. And if you look at it too, the city of Anaheim, they had a report of the years that I worked there from like '99 until 2006 of like the amount of police calls. It was something like when Sally Met Jack was the police investigation on us because we had everything. We did the search line, so it was like the drugs, the guns,
all the shit,
all of that. And I was a manager, so I was stacking.
I feel like sometimes fools be knowing about security, like, or they pick and choose when to act up, bro. Like if you ever go to some events in Long Beach and they see all them Samoan security, a lot of these motherfuckers will behave.
Oh yeah,
because Samoans will mop you up. And
they will mop your ass
as
up.
Fuck,
Yeah.
and they're kind of like they're the preferred security around from like a lot of the cannabis events from what I see because I've seen them pick up just big dudes like me that just be like, hey, we're gonna escort you out. I'm like, bro, how the fuck are you picking them up?
Yeah,
yeah, like,
absolutely.
Oh, man, you got strength.
Most of the time, I look back, I figured it out. It's like the guys, and I don't care how you feel about them, but like nobody likes to have their nuts snatched in front of everybody.
No.
So
No.
I avoided so many times. I'd be like, hey man, you and your buddies got to go. I'm gonna go over here and give you a few minutes to say bye and get your stuff together. And if I keep it quiet, most times they'd be out.
Yeah. It's so when you get loud and they get embarrassed.
Yeah,
the
you
pride
embarrass them,
comes
man.
out.
Yeah,
the ego and pride
absolutely
gets you in trouble every time. All right.
Hey, rest in peace to the Triple OG.
Yeah. Brendan Wood. Yeah.
I did a show with him in Idaho one time, and somebody started clapping in the club, and the OGs just stood on the stage and sang his songs while they busting caps on each other and he didn't care.
He probably been through it 1,000 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was crazy.
Rest in peace. All right.
All right, we kind of got two of the same questions in the super chat. One happy mama's asking Anthony, who gets no airplay or playtime in your car when it comes to music, and same thing for Angie. What rapper gets no play in your car?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
No
play.
Right.
Like, let's say, just for example, to make it easier, let's just say you're rolling and you're listening to your favorite hip hop station, and a song comes on and you're like, hell no.
Okay.
But it's one you know.
I got one.
All right.
Oh, wait, you go first, Anthony.
I was
have to think
just
of his
going to say
name.
anything that says, take that.
Oh, there you go. Great answer.
Nothing that says that goes in my rap.
All right.
Mine is, okay, I don't have to give my reason why, right?
No.
It's Jack Harlow.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
who
That's
hurt
not a
you?
bad answer.
What did I do?
He's a rapper.
Yeah, I know who Jack Harlow
And
is.
I
Yeah.
feel like his songs aren't there.
They don't hit for you.
Nah.
No, I feel you. No,
Sorry.
Sorry,
I'm
Jack.
sorry, I missed the question.
It was for him, but
okay.
and Angie, but I don't know if you ever got asked this. Is there a rapper that doesn't get any airplay in your car? So like if you're driving and you like it a song comes on and you're like, oh hell no.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh boom.
Yeah,
And that rounds it out.
Is that wait, hold on. Is that because you don't feel he's good, or because the jacket that's on him that he
a
put
little
on
bit of both.
himself?
A little bit.
If he didn't have this jacket,
I still wouldn't play it.
you still wouldn't play.
You know,
All right,
look,
fair
I got
enough.
to a point where listening to classical music and acid jazz and stuff like that became way more of a pleasure to me than what was going on.
I
in
hear
hip-hop,
that.
you know.
I hear that. I could relate to that.
Yeah.
All right. Next one.
The last one so far is T. Lee. B, what walk was harder, yours when Sendog left you, or Paul Pierce after the Celtics lost?
Mine. I had to walk 26 miles. That's over 8 hours. You
A
know,
marathon.
at night, I had to creep through several gangbang neighborhoods. He didn't have to do that. But he didn't have no shoes on. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Shit, I totally forgot about that. Paul Pierce, formerly a Celtic, a champion Celtic, said there was no way that the Celtics were going to give up a second game. And that if they did, he was going to put on his little robe, his morning robe, take an 8-hour walk with no shoes on through whatever city he was talking about, or whatever street.
Has that happened yet?
Yes, he started this morning.
He
He's
did it?
probably still walking.
Wow.
He said he'd give updates. Apparently he's a man of his word. He went and, talked that shit and got proven wrong, and he's now doing some of the stuff that he proclaimed that he would do if they had lost. And they did. And we, as Laker fans out here, are loving that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul Pierce. I mean, I know you're from L.A., but in respect for that, but you're a Celtic, so...
And you put yourself out there when you go overboard. I'm all for like, hey, we'll see who wins. I've been training hard.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good. But when you're like, we got you in the back.
Yeah, he said there is no way.
No way.
There is no way that they could possibly win. I will come out in my bathrobe, barefooted, on an 8-hour walk.
That's a lot, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a former athlete, but I bet you his knees and ankles are not feeling it right now. Like, if his knees and ankles could talk back to him, they'd be like, motherfucker, next time don't say nothing.
Hope he has some good shoes.
He better have, he can't. He said he walked barefooted.
That's a lot of time to be in your mind, too, though.
I would cheat.
It's a hot day today, too.
Maybe he got sneakers on or some flip-flops or something, but he said barefooted.
Yeah, we need a verification on that one.
Yep. He did a IG a live this morning.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm about to take it into the. I'm almost gonna make a right. Probably gonna go up into the mountains pretty soon.
Here, let me go to the first one here.
Time for me to get the stepping.
Sorry, Paul.
Oh damn.
It's on y'all, Paul.
Right outside. All right. Man of my word.
All right, he got sneakers on or some slippers.
All right, man.
I saw
Welcome
slippers.
to this journey. Where I go.
Could be sleeping.
Get back with y'all in a minute.
Did you hear the bird?
Man, this really wild, though. I can't believe this. Celtics got me out here like this, dog.
He got himself out there like this.
Man, I can't believe it. I got a long walk to go. So I got to put my shades on. Everybody won't recognize. Man, this is blowing me.
Won't recognize.
Yeah, no. You're 6'9".
Blowing me, dog.
They ain't gonna know who Paul Pierce
In a robe.
Yeah.
Man, I'm way out here.
Looking like a vagrant.
Yeah.
I'm stepping, though. Here we go, baby. Here we go. All right, man. Every hour, top of the hour, I'll give y'all an update on where I'm at. All right. I'm really outside like this, dog.
I don't feel sorry for him, you know what I mean?
Man, I lost that bet.
And I feel great for the Knicks. So salute to the Knicks. Love that. Put Paul Pierce to the, pavement. He getting them steps in.
He could have said a mile.
Yep. He could have said a mile.
He said a mile.
He said 8 hours.
He said 8 hours.
Ouch.
A work day.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, shirt drenched every hour.
And people in LA do not fuck with him because of the one thing that he did in the championship series where he acted like he was so injured that he wasn't going to come back. He carried out by 2-3 guys, and then all of a sudden he runs back in like if nothing ever happened to him, maybe 5-6 minutes later to get into the game. And he was just, no. We weren't buying his bullshit.
The drama.
Ugh.
Getting DoorDash.
They did win that championship series, unfortunately. God damn it. But we got revenge on the next one. Yeah, that's Paul Pierce, y'all. I'd say give him a round, but he's giving himself a round right here.
All day long.
He said, I can't believe y'all got me out here like this. It's like, no, you got yourself out there like that.
Hello.
I mean, you made the bet with everybody, not the other way around.
I ordered some wings, so hopefully they get to the spot. My my dressing room. So I appreciate y'all doing
He
that.
looks so tired, bro.
I'm about to
he
go
looks
kill
done.
these. Man, I need it right now. I dropped about 5 pounds. Appreciate y'all for holding me down during this journey.
Nobody's holding you down. Get out of here, man. Motherfuckers are just witnessing you do this shit to yourself. I don't know if anybody's holding you down.
No.
Well, at least down in L.A., we're not necessarily holding him down. That's crazy. All right, you got any more, Bolton?
No, that seems to be it. I was going to say, too, I don't have too many submissions
All
for
right.
today as well.
All right, well, let's get into the ones you do have.
Bring it.
All right, I was just going to... You just want me to show it right away, or you want me to go into the intro?
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll just get into this. I only have one, honestly. We
All
got
right,
Miro
bet.
in here, and he's showing off some French toast that he has. He's out in the Czech Republic.
Damn,
Oh, wow.
That shit looks fucking bomb, dog.
Okay.
That's
Bring
a good
it.
cheat day right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
you
saying
can't,
whipped cream, caramel, and bacon on the side. It's perfect.
you can't have this type of thing every day.
Nah, but that shit is.
You can enjoy it when you do.
Have it on a Sunday, Saturday, or a Friday. Any day of the week, but... Because that'll do any day.
I've never heard of the caramel on the side with the French toast. That'd be pretty good.
Magnificent.
What's the craziest, because a lot of these breakfast places have like specialty things sometimes, and you see it on like the shows like, what's that fucking show Guy Fieri does, and they do something special.
Dines and Diners?
Yeah, yeah. There's breakfast spots that do this sort of thing, right? And there's one downtown in the art district close by where they used to do this big ass pancake that was like as big as that this mat here. Hey, E-Zone, hold up that mat right there. All right, so it was as big as that mat, right? And about this thick of a pancake. And if you finished it, they would, wipe the bill and take your picture and put it on the wall because it's a lot of fucking dough to be like.
Oh, yeah.
That's the crazy shit when I see motherfuckers trying that.
I like that, though.
Yeah.
They seem to do that a lot more back in the day, but, like, it's still nice to see places like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you order that for, like, the table, it's great. But, like, if you're trying to wipe that out yourself, ooh, you're going to have problems later.
And do you just roll out, like, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to get that and try it today, or, like, you preparing for it?
I think people look at the challenges at certain spots and they go to them.
Yeah.
And like other people, they hear about it, they might like, might be intrigued by it, so they'll try it, and then they see it and they're overwhelmed and they're like, no, I'm only going to have a little bit of this. I'm going to share with everybody, right? But they got to pay for that.
Yeah.
But the motherfucker that could take it down himself, yeah, he's not necessarily going to pay for that because that's promo.
No. I salute that man, not his health.
Yeah, same here. I knew one dude who went and tried to wipe that thing out. And he got to maybe close to half, but he could not wipe that thing.
And they dudes think they can, right? They're
Yeah.
like in their head, but
Like some of the there's what's that spot in Downey, Mello, where it had the 3-pound burrito?
That was on Firestone, I want to say. Was it
Mello would know.
I just don't remember the
The
name.
green burrito, was
Green
it?
burrito, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
come on.
It was like the size of your sneaker, and if you could finish it, I forgot what the deal was.
They gave it to you for free,
Is that what it was?
and then your name went on the wall for a while. You took a picture.
But
You know what I'm
I'd
saying?
never met a man that could knock it down.
No,
Well, they should give it to you for free because after you finish it, it's more like attempted murder for them. So
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
quiet you down. Just take it.
it's pretty gluttonous if you're trying to take it down yourself.
It's like, here, we almost killed you.
Like if there's a cash prize, I get it.
Yeah,
But if you don't finish it, you got to pay for
you
it.
got to pay for it.
Indeed.
And you pay for it twice. The price
Oh.
and then what it does to you later.
Yeah, that was gonna say you shorten your life expectancy.
Well, yeah. Especially if you're not one that keeps active.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the activity is everything, right? You got to burn that shit off somehow.
Yeah. But the myth, the legend keeps them coming back.
Yeah. I got to go take this shit down. I almost took it down last time.
Yeah, I almost got it.
Yeah.
Only 20 more bites.
Yeah, it's crazy how many places do that sort of thing. Like pizza places do it, where they got this special pizza. It's fucking
They had Domino's that just stuffed crust now.
yeah.
But the commercial was like they got the poor people up there to say that they have tried it before and they liked it.
Right.
They were like, but we never came out with it before. So basically, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Enjoy our pizza.
Stuffed crust is pretty bomb, though.
It is.
Yeah, that shit is bomb.
I feel so bad eating it, but it tastes so good.
Stuffed crust.
If you're watching the show Chiclets, for tonight, dog.
Hey, thank you, Chiclets, for that that enormous hash hole the other day. That was spectacular. Thank you very much for that. I mean, that was significant. It's like a roll of quarters, but longer. You know what I'm saying? And more potent.
And it burned like perfect, bro. Like usually when it's one of those big joints, like the novelty size joints, people either don't know how to hit them. That's majority of the problem, most of the time. But
it's like the joint that's like a size of a cigar. This is an example of one of them right here.
No, it's just a regular hash hole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the one that
the one I had was much bigger than that. Like like a cigar roll.
Yeah.
Thick like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. That was a lot. I was pretty high yesterday.
Ooh, yeah, that's a fatty.
Yeah, that's about like 8 grams.
That's a task right there.
I mean, but you feel so accomplished at the end, though.
That's the job. That was the job for yesterday. That was it. Just get through that.
It does feel like a job.
It is.
It does, for sure.
Fucking A, man.
You're on the clock. That's it.
So you working on anything right now in the works, or are you just taking time off right now?
A little bit of both. I always say I got more to come. I announce it when I figure it's time.
Yeah.
But always in the loop. I got more work to do when I get home tonight. And then getting ready to do a year or two with the recruiter. That to me has just been a blast because I got to go do appearances all over for some of the college football games. And the fans love them, and it was a success. So, and that was another one of those ones where I was able to take a character and, from my own self and experience, but play some character that wasn't stereotypical, that was representative of us, and make some money with it. And so the next year, that's it. But we'll be doing more productions over this next year or so. I said I'm gonna fulfill some obligations and have some fun and spend some time with my fam and loved ones. Hit some of these events, and always more to come.
As an actor, if there was a story you could tell about a real person, do you have one in mind?
I was always fascinated with the brown buffalo, Oscar Horchata.
Yeah.
Costa, because just his story was amazing. How I learned of it through Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So it was a trippy character.
Yeah.
But then you dive into the fact like, oh, this was written by a guy who was a writer and he really wrote this, and this is more true to his life. Then you dive into the fact of the character, the lawyer, his lawyer.
Oh, the lawyer was bugged out. Yeah.
And then you realize that was a real character who was, really prominent and well known around civil rights and Chicano civil rights in the 70s. And then just how crazy he was and how human he was. And I'm fascinated with that because we can all do great things, but then we all are fighting every day with not only ourselves, but the externals of life. So I just love those kind of characters, and he ended up disappearing. He took his journey. He had an amazing kind of story, and then the hearsay legends surrounding what happened to him keep it exciting. And I always thought that was just an amazing character.
He went off the grid.
He went off the grid. Yeah.
Have you thought about doing any kind of voiceover work, bro? Because sometimes you have you have that voice for that inner city.
Yeah, we do that. This year, Anthony L. Fernandez is on the Dr. Greenthumb Show.
We gotta record that.
Yeah,
that's gotta be.
Gotta get a workout.
Is that really your voice, or were you screaming at somebody yesterday?
No. When I was little, I would always speak in the room quiet, like whenever the room quiet, and but I always felt like people wouldn't hear me. So like a louder speaking voice, I can put it up to a louder speaking voice, but I don't prefer that. But that enabled me to play characters and use the voice to where I do know. And then actually it was in reverse studying acting. It was learning other voices, other pitches, other cadences.
Because that's important in character
yeah.
acting.
Yeah, you have to be able to bring it up. You have to be able to bring it low. But yeah, my natural speaking voice. But it just depends, because sometimes you're on Zoom calls, you're on podcasts, or even filming, and they're like, well, you got to speak up. So you have to navigate around those times where you have to use your voice in different ways. Like right here is just comfortable and easy. But some other times you have to kick it up, play other voices.
Yeah.
I do other, I've done other characters. So even with Barry in Brooklyn, it was sort of the same thing, but I had to bring it to a different sort of,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love it though.
It's those different inflections.
Yeah. And learning just how, like even to Christopher Walken, how he kind of pauses and then delivers. And so all of the things, I enjoyed him as a kid growing up, man. Yeah,
it's crazy because
that's pretty fucking spot on.
What's crazy is that the older actors like that, they have that pause thing, like to wait for the moment, let it breathe, and then deliver the line. It's the craziest shit.
And we were told not to do that. Like coming up there, like if it's a co-star role, no, hurry up and say the line, hurry up and say it. But then when you get to that point where they'll wait for you, that is exactly what it is, because they'll wait for you.
Yeah.
Now it's a great delivery. Now, we got to cut somebody else's 5 minutes because he took so long to deliver. But wow, it was powerful.
Yeah. Man, that's acting, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
You up and coming actors should be taking notes on some of this shit over here.
Yeah,
man.
great insight.
Yeah. Do you still aside from the work that you did in school, do you do private classes for specific roles?
I do. Sometimes you have to reach out to some acting coaches.
Give you some perspective.
Yeah, it's just always nice. But along the way, you develop your own methods. I cherry pick what works for me. And, everything is reasonable. I always look at it as you have to bring your own experiences, but you'll never be that person. There's a practicality to what we do, yet if you don't have enough imagination, then you can't get lost enough in the character or the story to tell it. And if you can't, then why would I want to watch it?
That's the part right there. Like
as
having
an actor, for real, be real.
Having the imagination to be that person.
And it's the same thing with, in music. Like if you're on there, the voice, if it's not a specific sounding voice that doesn't capture someone, if the delivery isn't what gravitates towards people, they don't but if you do it the right way, then you capture people and they hear it and they're like, oh, the way that he says that, I know that voice anywhere. Or
one bounces off and repels, and the other one brings it in.
Absolutely,
it just depends on what side of it you land on.
Absolutely,
yeah. Music is very much like that. Very much.
And if you don't sound like you believe yourself, then nobody else will, right?
Yes, that is the other thing. Like when every rapper, says he's the best.
I'm the best.
You got to believe that if you're gonna come off that way. You know what I mean? If you talk about that shit and you're walking around with your head down, shoulders slouched, and unsure that you're the best, no one's gonna believe you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
You have to believe you if you expect anyone else to believe you.
It's not a lane. It's not a lane her career to be the most humble, what I'm saying? You can still be humble, but you gotta own your shit. Like be like, fuck everybody else, not respectfully, but I'm the shit,
Well, you could be humble and confident what you do. It's the thin line between, being confident and arrogant.
Yeah, it's like a very thin line.
Yes.
For sure.
And if you're prepared, then you can play. If you're not prepared, then it makes everything harder when you do step up to do it. So it's like if you get that out of the way, then you just have to remind yourself to have the respect for what it is that you do, that, no matter what, you put the time and energy into something, you want to be the best at it. You want to work with the best people. And so that should motivate you at the end of the day just to, to keep pushing forward.
How much prep time do you usually put into a role?
It just depends on the character. Some don't give you that much to go on, and so even then you should still have kind of a Bible of what the character is, create some circumstances enough to where you're familiar with who you are when you present that. And then it opens up a whole different sort of thing as far as the experiences that you give the character. And so preparing, that's always, I try not to over prepare. We kind of talked about that. It's like, but you should go through, and I recommend like rehearsing your dialogue just to get it down. Don't put anything on it. And then after a while, like you'll rehearse, put it down. Put it down. We're not meant to cram and cram and cram.
Right.
And it'll actually make the performance worse. So I just find that point where I'm getting enough of it, and then I'll throw it on. Like nowadays, you have the recorder, just like Leonardo DiCaprio was doing on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's just the same version. He was clicking it on. He'd record those parts with the pauses. Now we have like applications that actually you can put your voice on, and there's been some times where I've actually been in on location somewhere, and an audition comes through, and you have to prop the phone up and record it, and sometimes you don't have a reader, so it'll actually read back. In one of the apps I'm on right now, it waits until you say that last word, so you can take your pauses and time, and until you say that last word, then it goes on to the next.
That's a great tool for some of the up and coming actors right now.
Would you ever audition for like a novela or something like that?
I would. It's just it's one of those ones that for me is I don't want to say scary, but it's a little scary. The way that I've been on soap operas, I've been on like Young and the Restless, and I see the pace that they work at, and the amount of work that goes into and
dialogue.
Oh, and dialogue. So I'd be comfortable with it, but it would really have to be a transition from what I'm used to. But that definitely is one of the ones, because I've gotten that question before.
I can see you in like some Spanish
I am
novela.
Ramon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing about soap operas and novelas. It's like 98% dialogue.
Yep.
Where movies, you got all this shit that happens before some dialogue that might happen to transition from one piece to another. But novelas, even in the transition pieces, boom, straight to dialogue.
Melo, you're a novela guy?
No.
You never liked novelas?
Just not.
He was in the streets. He wasn't watching no TV.
I was in the streets.
There's such a heightened sense of like...
Sendog watched One Life to Live.
Oh, did
Yeah, All My Children, all that shit.
You know what? That's what it was. That's what it was. It was All My Children he would watch. Him and Bobo would watch. Not at the same...
Bobo too?
Yeah, but they didn't know each other then yet. You know what I mean? This is just something.
I thought they watched it like together. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I was in the streets too heavy. I could
Me
not
and this
watch
guy
it.
were in the streets either battling, breakdancing, or he was over there on the other side. We were always in the street. Me and this one.
Yeah, I had no time for none of this shit right here.
No.
All My Children.
Hey, Sendog wouldn't come outside till 4:00.
Yeah, he had to watch his shit. Or he came out.
That's funny.
He ain't coming out till after General Hospital.
Yes, wasn't until General Hospital this motherfucker would come out.
Real tough.
And we didn't know Bobo then, so I don't know his schedule. But you absolutely 1,000% right.
That's hilarious.
You had to wait to talk to this motherfucker till after this shit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of eye candy on these soap operas, so
I mean, still going strong too, right?
Yeah,
General Hospital's still rocking.
I think so. Yeah.
62 seasons.
Hey.
62 fucking.
Somebody that was born got old within the amount of episodes
Yes.
that they played.
Or someone that was a
Older.
child actor that stood on the shit, grew up to that show.
And got rehired.
And got rehired, killed off and rehired.
Yeah, there's another person. He's a doctor now after the
Let's write him back in.
Yeah.
We're going to write him back in, but as a twin.
Yeah. An evil twin.
An
No,
evil
triplets.
Or a triplet, yeah, because they killed the twin off.
They killed
a while ago. So, there's a triplet we didn't know about.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Yeah, that's soap operas, though, and novellas. They could do those crazy, dramatic plot twists, and people would just accept it.
It's funny for how structured they are, for how loose they are when it comes to that sort of thing, the plot line and characters.
Spanish must be wild.
It's crazy how many actors that became big actors came from fucking soap operas.
Yeah.
You don't really hear about it too much, but that's the testing ground. Can they hold a fucking movie, right?
Oh yeah, different.
The leading, the two leads or whatever, male and female lead, can they hold it, right?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Yeah, but some don't translate from TV to movies though.
No,
right?
and there's difference in live delivery. And there's difference in what you will do on a small screen compared to a large. Like if you try and do some stuff on a large screen with your face and expressions, and
it doesn't work the same way. Yeah.
No. So you have to know that. I mean, you have to care enough about it, I guess. But I do respect back in the old days when it was like the Brad Pitts, they showed up with $800 in their pocket or something, and you had to grind and get the Thomas Guide, and I respect that. I mean, like, you cared enough to do the work.
Like Stallone.
When they were starving actors.
Yeah.
Now they're fucking paid actors.
But you can get the application to get auditions, and there's ways around it. It's easier to get the attention of I would say some of the agencies out there, but before,
shit, now motherfuckers could, if they wanted to write their own shit, they could just go to AI. Here's the idea, write me a script based around this shit.
Yeah. And that's scary too, because we're looking at those pictures earlier of like the Nicolas Cage and then the old him, but now it's like you can't even trust it.
Do you think like writers are going to do that? Like the people that already are experienced writers, because that would make their fucking lives and jobs easier, right? Like to say, okay, these are the ideas, write me a script, and then, pick and choose what they like from what AI gave them, or they fucking go with what AI gave them.
Yeah, it's definitely up for conversation, because at what point are they just taking care of like kind of using it for that technical side of it? And everything that I say, humanity has invented for the greater of us. This is a great invention. It'll revolutionize life. It's only bound by the darkest heart, the most evil intention, So there's going to be someone that's going to be desperate in their work that is backed into a corner, and so it's really like what kind of regulations that the writers will have on them. Because I agree, for a skeleton, for an idea, which I don't know is necessarily healthy anyway, because you're coming up with what that wrote based off of an idea, but you didn't have to stretch it through every line and dialogue and sit for a while, and
there's no emotion behind it. It's just what makes the most sense.
Yeah,
right.
They run the logarithms, and they come up with what the reasonable outcomes would be, or what would be funny, or it kind of deflates the tire, Especially when we have the ability. It's like, yeah, you can do that, but
yeah, that's the crazy shit, because I think we're gonna see. Well, we're already seeing it in music to some degree. I mean, there's a lot of AI.
Yeah, the voices are sounding like it. Like, I'll make you a Drake song, or
the other day, someone sent one of our DJs a link to a song that I was supposedly on with KRS-One and some other rapper. And when I heard it, it sounded an awful lot like me, but I know that I didn't write those lyrics.
How do you feel hearing it? Like
I was impressed.
Yeah.
But then, at the same time, I was like, you could have just called me. I would have did that for you. Right. You didn't have to AI it. And so I was
That's
like,
how we feel about acting.
I was on the chorus, and I called KRS-One about it, because I was like, well, if he remembers doing the song, then maybe I just have one of those lapses where I don't remember doing the song, but I did it, right? Sent it to him, but I knew it wasn't him, because it's his tone, but not one he normally raps in.
Off, right?
Yeah, there was something off about it, so I hit up his manager, and I said, hey, look, someone send me this link to show me this song. I don't remember doing it. I think it's AI. But if Chris says that he actually did this, or if you guys say, then I'll accept it as maybe it was something I did, and I totally forgot about it. But put your ears to it. Let me know what you think. And got back to me. We don't know this person. That it was like a specific DJ. I'm not going to give him any love, but it was a specific DJ, and he was AI in a bunch of like Nipsey Hussle verses and Prodigy verses from Mobb Deep and guys like that. So, it was sus from the beginning.
Yeah.
But it sounded like KRS-One just in his talking tone.
Yeah.
And it sounded like me, and like with phrases that I would probably have written here and there, but like I know I didn't write it because I have all my shit
that's pretty good
referenced. I was like, that's pretty good. But that's the thing, like this guy, it was he managed to get my voice in the cadence he wanted with the words he wrote, or that the AI came up with, and it sounded fucking spot on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if artists decide, I don't have to do all that work. Let me just see what AI does, and then I'll replicate that.
Yeah. Don't need a studio.
Yeah, it's gonna make it easy for folks that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's gonna make it easy for the motherfuckers that don't got a clue what they're doing. Right? But what will show is that when like the pros actually use this technology, you won't even know it because they'll execute it in a way that some of these new guys can't. Like, for instance, we always talking about it here, but some of the younger artists, they don't even know their songs all the way through. They're like usually doing the hype parts to their own song instead of the verses.
Yep.
Whereas veterans that know how to do this shit and know what it is to be on the stage and deliver these songs, you'll get it, rehearse it, and then execute it out there, and you will not know the difference.
Yeah.
But you'll see that this group is out there knocking it out, as opposed to like barely, being able to dial that shit in with lyrics on top of it. It's a very different thing. But but somewhere along the lines, motherfuckers are going to use it for this. If they're not already doing so.
Yeah. Well, they're already in the stages, and I always say, like, whatever technology we have, better believe there's even more advanced technology not released to us.
That we haven't seen it, that we won't see for another 15 years. Like they say that the technology that we get, the military has it for about 15 years, and then they release it commercially in different areas that is okay for us to use.
But every time I see the robot dogs or the AI, I'm like, they're just gonna put a gun to them,
they already got
strap artillery to them, and let them go.
We haven't seen them, but they already got them.
Yeah.
And our taxpayer dollars went to.
Oh, hard at work.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else?
Yeah, Midget Mike's in here. He's asking Anthony, what is your dream role?
Dream role. I don't know. We kind of answered that with the story I'd like to tell.
Yeah.
But I love westerns. I heard they're doing a third to Young Guns, man.
Oh shit! Really?
And yeah, they confirmed it with the state of New Mexico, and I think Emilio and Lou and.
So are they going to talk about how they faked his death?
I think so, because they're older. They got to do something.
Because that's a crazy story.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know it, that Billy the Kid, so many years later after his supposed death, right? People started questioning if he really died or not because the dude who shot him in the back was actually his homie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his homie became sheriff and decided to hunt him down. And, eventually he comes up with the body who they say is Billy the Kid, Billy Bonney, William Bonney, whatever. And now they're saying that was probably another body, and his homeboy fucking looked out for him, and he went and fucked off to another part of the territory where they weren't looking for him. And he popped up years later with a different name.
Yeah.
Telling specific stories that were saying, yes, this motherfucker might be Billy the Kid.
Yeah. It was like in the 50s.
Yeah.
He pops up in the 50s.
Old ass man by this time.
Cars and stuff. And he's like, but the people that were still alive from knowing the outlaw, some of them were still alive and they were like, oh, that's him.
Yeah.
So that would be like somebody you knew.
Like
and
starstruck.
you didn't see him. And then they see him again and it's like, no, I know that bro. I just know who it is. I knew him back then. And I'm interested in that sort of thing. Some of those things from a kid, westerns, some time.
I gotta see that. Hell yeah. I mean, shit. He's just old enough to play the older version now.
He is.
You know what I mean? So it sort of makes sense if they go with the story that they actually faked his death.
And they never gave him that pardon.
Yeah.
He was always going for
the
pardon.
They never gave him the pardon. That's right.
Yeah.
Did they give it to him in death, though?
No.
Still haven't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man.
Nah.
That's too bad. He smoked too many people, man.
He did.
Yeah. Fucking, wow. What, Young Guns 3? Have you seen Young Guns 1 and 2 yet?
Yeah, that movie is classic.
Classic.
I freaking love that movie.
Yeah.
E-Zone has not.
No, I have
I've seen the look on his face.
Never
if it helps you, the guy who played Richie Valens, Lou Diamond Phillips, is also in this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just not a big Western fan.
What? You would like this one.
Check it out.
I just
But you're
remember,
not
though,
like
at,
Pedro.
1988, 1989, me at like 10, 11 years old, bro. You see it, you're like, oh, yeah. The opening when they're just capping it up, for, like, you don't know
Oh yeah,
shooting.
yeah. 1 and 2 were good.
Yeah.
Let's see what 3's like.
Let's see.
You're not like Pedro. That's all about the violence. So yeah, I guess maybe that's not
I like
something.
the violence. I just, just a Western setting. It's like, I don't know, like time period films, kind of like it takes a lot for me.
It's harder for you.
It's better for me if it's a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
that gets me.
I was filming. I had some downtime in Albuquerque, so I was just doing some sightseeing. I'm like, man, they were here getting shot at.
Yeah.
Running from,
That's the trip when you're in the space. Did it actually happen?
Yeah, because you could see like just the different. I can't remember what the city was, but it was like from where I was at, you could see another one, Santa Fe or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's Santa Fe right there. And you're like, wow, at some point they were rolling from here to Santa Fe, getting chased, and that whole little story. But that's just one. That's one of many.
Yeah.
Growing up, I think that's why I love. I think our generation just loves movies and music, and
Oh yeah.
I grew up in the 80s, 90s. That whole time period was nothing but like
A lot of great movies.
entertainment. And the soundtrack would go along to the new movie that would come out, and everybody, everybody would eat. It would be amazing. You get the music video with the actors in it, and
Yeah.
the musician, when the artist would get to do the main title cut. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Set up perfect.
I think soundtracks were better curated back then.
Yeah.
Than they are today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I love the soundtrack Pour Out a Little Liquor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was on. What soundtrack was that? The one with Pac and
Yeah.
Death Row was heavy on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Above the Rim is a
Above the
dope
Rim.
soundtrack.
Yeah, Above the Rim.
Yeah.
That's one of the it's one of the most I guess talked about, right? Soundtracks with hip hop.
Yeah. And they were kind
Just trying to
of
think
getting
of it.
wild at that time.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. There was a lot of good shit on there.
Oh, a lot of good stuff.
Johnny J produced this, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of his best albums.
The soundtrack for Juice too. That was also
Oh man,
pretty nuts. It's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Word up,
Saturday
man.
Night Fever.
Saturday Night. Hey, hell of a soundtrack, son. You can't beat that one. The Bee Gees fucking were rocking, B.
Yeah.
The B and the G all day, son.
Facts.
Salute. We want to thank y'all for joining us today on the Dr. Greenthumb Show. We want to thank you, Anthony, for sitting in with us. Angie, thanks for sitting in with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And congratulations on everything, man. Keep pushing because you're doing great work, man.
Thank you so much. Love and respect, brother.
What's up?
Thanks for
That's
having
what's
us.
up. Thank you. You got any shout outs you want to give?
You know what? Just shout out to everyone that worked on Horchata with Oatmilk. I know they're all excited they were on here today. Go to horchatawithoatmilk.com and watch the movie now. It's very funny. Shout out to Concrete, Jay Valentino, Jerry Garcia, Duno, Alexander Gibson, Christian Leva, Echo, Jeff Echo. Of course, Ange, just to thank you for your love and support to everybody. Find me at actor Anthony L. Fernandez on Instagram and follow Horchata with Oatmilk on IG. Yeah.
That's what's up. Angie, got any shout outs?
Shout out to you guys, and go look up my channel, Latin Affiliated. We do a lot of cool interviews. We got an interview with you on there, and
That's right.
you. So yeah, just go check out me on YouTube. And, I just asked Be Real before the show started about a project we're going to be working on. So stay tuned, everybody, and make sure you follow me on Instagram.
That's
if
what's
you
up.
can.
Bolton.
Yo, shout out the Insane Asylum. Shout out to Ray Morning Shop Film. Shout out to the Dominator. What up, E-Zone?
Hey, what about Mello?
Oh, Mello.
Oh, Mello.
What
Yeah.
up,
Oh,
man?
yeah.
Damn,
Yo.
bro.
Oh, good, man.
Yo,
Shout
yo.
out to everybody. My brother, Be Real. Anthony, it's good to meet you, man. Hear your story. Keep shining, my man. Keep shining. Keep grinding.
Thank you, brother.
Shout out to Angie. It's good to see you today, my
Yes,
man.
so good to
E-Zone.
see you guys.
The brothers behind me that make us look and sound spectac. And just give me a follow on Instagram, mellow_man_ace. It's on the bottom of the screen. And get your new Mellow Man Ace merch. I'm kind of learning from my man E-Zone how to really be out here right now. So get the new merch and check me out. We got some show dates coming up. So we'll be in Vegas and some other stuff, some fun shit coming up. And aside from that, I'm chilling, B.
Salute to everybody here at the table. It was dope meeting you. It was dope meeting you too. Make sure you guys tune in later tonight, 7 to 9, for another episode of the We Don't Smoke the Same podcast. Nitty is gone, so the table's probably gonna be some crazy sit-ins. Also, go to flavorsbyezone.com or highandhungry.shop. The windbreakers have been started to be shipped out. I mean, I didn't expect it to take this long, but yeah, some of you guys are starting to get it. In the mail. Sorry for the pre-order wait. Them damn tariffs.
Right on. Keep up that never give up spirit and keep that positive energy around yourself and move forward. Swallow that.
BREALTV.